Are you interested in learning more about political theater? Welcome to Theater History Thursdays. Today's topic is Agitprop theater. Agitprop is political theater that hopes to inspire social change. The term agitprop comes from the words agitation and propaganda. Agitprop theater emerged after the Russian Revolution in 1917 and continued to explode throughout the 1920s in Europe and the United States, and it continues to exist today in various forms. Many agitprop conventions are meant to encourage political action and urgently spread ideas. Agitprop theater is also not a prescriptive tool. It doesn't indicate how change will happen or how it ought to happen, but rather shows that change is needed. Some agitprop techniques include direct address, which is where actors will break the fourth wall to speak directly to an audience. Another specific facet of agitprop theater is the mass declamation, which is where actors will speak a text in unison, often slogans or political speeches. In order to remain accessible and spread political messages to a wide audience, agitprop theater would often include simple narratives and characters, allowing audiences to engage with themes that were relevant to their lives. Practitioners also engaged with a diverse audience through humor and satire, as well as music and dance elements. Agitprop also developed as a mobile form of theater. Often performances were brief and outdoors. One of the most influential agitprop theater troupes was Blue Blouse, which was formed in 1923 in the Soviet Union. The group's name comes from the blue workers' uniforms that they would wear as costumes. They would also publish their scripts with stage directions in a magazine. They performed songs, sketches, and dances that made their political messages more accessible. Blue Blouse then encouraged the creation of many more agitprop theater troupes across the Soviet Union throughout the 1920s. Agitprop theater in the Soviet Union inspired the workers' theater movement in Germany, which was developed during the Weimar Republic era. The work of Bertolt Brecht also grew out of this time. In Soviet Union, agitprop theater also inspired the Unity Theater in Great Britain in 1936. In the United States, the San Francisco Mime Troupe was also influenced by the work that was coming out of the Soviet Union. One of the most powerful forms of agitprop theater was the living newspaper, which we talked about in the documentary theater episode of Theater History Thursdays. But as a reminder, the living newspaper dramatized articles and other materials to educate the working class about the realities of the issues that affected their lives. It became a very important part of the work that the Federal Theater Project did during the Great Depression, and some of those pieces are still performed today. Themes of agitprop theater persist today, with theater makers striving to create accessible work that promotes solidarity for those from all walks of life. Much of agitprop theater in the 20th century centered around workers' rights, which remains a timely theme for many theater collectives like the Workers' Theater and the Irondale Ensemble. From the 1960s to the 1980s, theater that focused on the concerns of Black people, Latinos, the LGBTQ communities, and women emerged. What could be called agitprop theater is still widely used internationally, especially in countries and regions experiencing great oppression. Here at New Perspectives, we believe that all theater is political. Our mission, unchanged after 33 years, reflects this belief, and all of our programming stems from the desire to use theater as an agent for social change. It's right there on the website. That's all for Agitprop Theater. Tune in next week for more theater history with New Perspectives.